I feel like I don't want to enter the NFT space and have to sell it on some line. And in 2010, much of this art and the mixtape, when it got made, was already a thing. And I suffered the consequences. And like my family got banned from America. I'm here now. Apart from my American son, no one else is allowed to come and visit me. And that is the result of everything that was happening. And I just felt like, this is the art I made when I was super frustrated about what was happening on the internet. And then, as a result of these bunch of works, and don't forget, during this time, the mainstream and everybody else was against this kind of thing. And they were saying, we want women in music to be something else, so we don't like you. People weren't embracing me and going, oh my God, amazing, here's a medal and a makeup deal and you're gonna be great because this is what we've been. No, I'm really grateful to all the people that came to my shows during the Maya era, but let's face it, like what they were writing was about, how nobody comes to my shows anymore. Everybody hates the record, everybody hates me, everybody hates the world, like everything needs to be washed and polished and presented, and everything needs to be mainstream, everybody needs to be a fucking queen, everybody needs to get their fucking tongue out, and that is the only way they were going to accept shit. And, it's not like people were just like, yeah, this is amazing. So everybody's like, this is the most ugliest thing ever, blah, blah, blah. But the authenticness of the art comes from the fact that shit really did change. And because shit changed and nobody was allowed to talk about it on the internet, somebody like WikiLeaks got in touch with me because of this art. Then after that, after the Obama days, corporations got more power. No one was able to criticize it. And we're living in the aftermath of that, And then people come to me and say, why are you selling an NFT? It's so bad for the environment. And you're like, well, where were you 10 years ago? Where were you 10 years ago when WikiLeaks was telling you, before they were leaking documents on the government, and let's face it, they leak documents on anything, when they were leaking documents about corporations saying, oh, you can't give corporations this mass control like, Mark Zuckerberg has now, or Amazon has now, or blah, blah, blah. You can't do that because it's going to be authoritarian regimes coming in. Next minute, you're going to be living in a dictatorship. Next minute, they're going to do whatever they want. Next minute, you're going to have to, be treated like cattle. Next minute, you're going to have, stamps on your sleeve, and you can't go into shops to buy food. Next minute, you can't go on the banking systems, whatever. Because they did that, all of the banks, after 2010, banned WikiLeaks. So nobody could support them or donate money through normal banking methods, including PayPal, which is all about Elon Musk. So all the mainstream bankers, all of the even internet bankers pulled out. And then that left WikiLeaks to only function on Bitcoins. And, funny enough, what's happened to Bitcoin's happened to Bitcoin. But that happened because people who are part of the truth tellers, who tried to save you from what's happening now, were economically sanctioned, and they were banned from taking any donations or funding from any normal transactional methods. So it's a bit of a mindfuck to talk about how terrible NFTs are to the world without talking about who then tried to stop this 10 years ago, and you didn't believe them. And it's not that you didn't believe them, but you were against them, because at that time you were led down a funnel of thinking that, you know, this is all about rape and, you know, some other thing, when you know what it's about. And now you know what it's about. But it took you 10 years. It took you 10 years to see the truth. So before you jump ahead and make all these crazy judgments, just think about that. Like, think about what you're going to say in 10 years' time. So, we can talk about music. We can talk about music, but I don't want to talk about music when someone said you're out of touch, and it's like, no, you're out of touch, because the way that it's gone, the way that companies are getting listed as trillion-dollar businesses right now is fucking unnecessary. Like, what is the environmental cost of that? You know, why are you still persecuting a guy who leaked some information about a war that everybody now knows was bullshit, and they've even withdrawn the troops and Taliban's taken over and nothing changed? Like, why are you still going after this one person over a video where some Reuters journalist got killed? No, you know it's more than that. So, aside from Julian Assange, Courage Foundation is basically about, hi Sid, Courage Foundation is basically a foundation that you're going to need in the future, and people like Courage will need support in the future. And yes, I could sell NFTs for my own personal gain, but I don't want to do that. But at the same time, I actually don't know how to raise money for things, because this is the problem. You know, to raise money for a foundation, you're going to have to be a mainstream thing, and you have to be a mainstream artist, and then you get money thrown at you. And in order to, you know, have money thrown at you and be on your yacht, you're going to have to kind of rape the earth. So it's a conundrum, you know, for me to be successful like you want me to be, and be on point, and be sexy, and for me to achieve and like post my photos from the yacht, I'm gonna have to fuck the world. And if you don't fuck the world, we're considered out of touch. And then when you sell an NFT to raise money to support the people who can stop this shit, this terrible cycle we're in, you say, oh my God, this girl is like totally out of touch. And it's so stupid. Yes. Thicker leaks, bitches. Shane Nice. So, I'm not going to put this mixtape out today. I was supposed to put it out today. But I'm going to wait, give it like a couple of days, and let people think about this vicious cycle. And in terms of being a woman entering the NFT space, I'm not entering it to like sell myself being sexy, because that's what the mainstream does. That's what every woman entering any fucking space has to do. So I'm not doing that. So if this is like some sort of alternative, this space needs to be some sort of alternative where I don't have to be all like sassy about it. It's just like, fucking buy the NFT, support Courage Foundation. I don't want your money. I can fucking live in the heart. This is, this is like it. That's the truth. They do need the money because they're economically sanctioned. So media outlets that are not part of the mainstream spilling out same regurgitated information of like 500 words of nothing, just nothing. Anyone outside of that do need money, do need support, does need the funding. And that's that. I was going to release a new song. I'm just mixing it to get the mix right. And have you guys got any questions? Would you do an NFT with the color stuff? Well, I think that the thing I'm learning, okay, so I have to be honest about my last NFT. So I sold an NFT and raised some money for the volcano in St. Vincent. Since then, I've been spending all my time trying to set up a foundation so I can help more people, because I feel as an artist, creating for my own self is reached some sort of point. And for the next part of what I do, I would like to basically use NFTs or my music or whatever space to be able to help people. And I think I'm not going to move forward until I have this foundation set up, but it's incredibly difficult. Like, they're making it so hard for me to register a foundation just because foundations have a bad reputation. Like people have been laundering money for the last God knows how long and hiding, the wealth and doing all that corrupted shit, which because this has recently been the papers that came out. And the recent leaks have been about this. And so now someone like me is judged in the same way. And for a genuine foundation, it's so bloody hard to set one up. Yeah, Bill Gates has got fucking foundations coming out of his fucking ear hole and is injecting everybody around the fucking globe. Me, who actually wants to do this, it's like finding it really impossible to set it up in time. So I'm still doing that. So the next experiment is, the idea was for me to sell that NFT, set up my own foundation and give the money out to people. And but they're making it very, very difficult for me because I'm not part of the establishment and I'm not doing it to like hide shit or buy myself a yacht, and actually genuinely want to help people. So the next thing I'm doing is just this time I'm going to give it straight to Courage and not have to do anything. So this time we got Courage to set up their own wallet, and that money would directly go to them. And then you don't have to be like, oh, is she going to spend it on plastic surgery? It's like, no. I've hired so many legal teams to do this. And each lawyer says, oh, it's going to take a year, it's going to take 10 years, it's going to take 1 year, it's going to take 5 years. And I just feel like, you know, I don't know, this is like such a small window of time where the you know, where the parameters around a human being is tightening, and the parameters around free thinking, free speech, you know, our right to just simply exist, and have the things you like and want. Like, everything is getting monitored, everything's going to be sold to you. You know, I can't say that I like this air. So free speech is like the first one to go, because we're in it now, you know. Anyway, I really just came on Instagram Live to also say to Mark Zuckerberg, I'm taking Facebook. You're going to have to deal with that. You could buy Facebook merch off me. Apart from that, I'm having a lit week. And yeah, exactly. Free speech is already gone. But Courage Foundation is not just about, you know, free speech. Let's see what they expand into and, you know, do. And we're going to need more people. Yeah. Thanks, Facebook here, guys. I love Brazil too. How do you take back your right of free speech? Well, nothing is stopping us actually walking down the street and talking to each other unless they start owning that as well. You know, we have divine rights, somebody said. It's true. And also speaking, what is speaking after a while when you can see what's going on? Like, this is the thing, you know. I do feel like it's obvious what's going on. And people are afraid to go out for this reason. Oh, look at that. They took away free speech on the internet, and you're not allowed to go out. And then there's like this deadly virus, and you got to eat what they give you. And, you know, be sexy all the time, like this. So well, Tamil Guardian's Instagram being shut down by Mark Zuckerberg on this very platform is a big deal, because I can't believe it, because I tweeted about it the same time I tweeted about the fact that Julian's on trial this week, and and a couple of other sites I went to this week also got shut down. And these are like already considered sites that are not, like super political, like Tamil Guardians, run by people who are active, like members of parliament and political parties and stuff like that. They're not like crazy, like crazy hardcore Tamil people who are just like doing crazy shit. It's not even like that. So to me, I always viewed the Tamil Guardian as quite a very balanced, a medium, central news outlet. And they got banned because, do you know why it's shocking? It's because last year they banned all the intense, crazy Tamil ones. I wouldn't even say crazy, but just people who are really there and who are really feeling it and expressing things that they're seeing. Those people were already banned last year, which was already shocking to me, but I wasn't allowed to share the shock with you because they were branded as something that was like, when they came after a lot of people saying it's hate speech, it was during the time they were deporting all the Tamils back from Europe to Sri Lanka, back into like the genocidal war criminal regime. And that was already a problem. And then now we have all the sort of central ones banned. And they got banned, and I feel like they got banned because I posted their post about the police beating up this kid who was on a motorbike, and just after that story they got banned. And why is the social media your priority to speak out on? Well, this is kind of weird because when I came up as a musician, the internet really did help me. And it became a place where I was talking because I couldn't get on television because like my nose wasn't small enough, or like my face wasn't good enough to be on television, or maybe my hair wasn't right, and maybe I didn't have training as a singer from the beginning. I don't know why they don't let you on, but fuck it. So I went on the internet. Yes. But then I told you when internet changed, saying it was connected to the Google, connected to the government. And then I got cancelled before any of your faves got cancelled. Don't forget. I was like a fucking leper in the music industry at one point. So then I made all this crazy ugly art to show her how ugly it was, using a language that the internet will understand, which was it was itself. And then everyone just said it was ugly. But then, yeah, the computer was about to turn ugly. And then here it is, and I'm putting it up for sale. And then somebody asked me, like, are you for real? Like, are you really doing this, or are you just going to keep all the money, or why are you doing this? And I'm like, what? I've been supporting them when it's not fucking cool. you know, and I know the cost and the repercussions of what supporting someone like Courage or truth telling or whistleblowers or WikiLeaks is about, you know. I know that, but this is about not giving up on your values because you're freaking scared, or losing your values because you want to go to space. From MySpace to space. Who is asking for locations on my son right now? So, not all of us are going to make it to space. And if they are going to go to space, then let them get us renewable energy or alternative energy up there in space. And, or they have to do two things. Either find us more energy, or you let people like Julian have a say in society, that he can criticize the government for lobbying for all of their rich fucking corporations to rape this planet, and let people like Julian have a say, and let him enter the chat, and let people like us decide what is right for Earth, and let us live by those means. You know, you called me a terrorist in 2008 and 9, the mainstream media. And so they gave Bill Gates specifically and the Melinda Gates Foundation gave $1 billion to the Rajapaksa government, who committed the war crimes, and they spent it on building hotels and buying Bentleys. And I was kicked out. And my mum, who was the seamstress, a sewing assistant on minimum wage, was banned from America. And that happened. That happened when I made this artwork and made this album that is now getting floated. And now, 10 years later, they're like, oh, this is environmental damage. It's like, have you noticed what's been happening for the last 10 years? No. So, do you know why? Because they arrest those people who tell you the truth and put them in jail. And that is the true fight. But, you know, a lot of people in 2010 to now always believed that Julian's being persecuted for a rape case. A lot of women stopped supporting him. A lot of people stopped giving money to the organization to like help whistleblowers and more people, etc., etc., and, you know, withdrew themselves because of that story, because of the story and the way they spinned it. But during that time, what they were able to do is grow these corporations to an extent where they're all like $1 trillion corporations, and have a larger implication and effect on the Earth's resources. So, the moral of the story is, yes, live within your means. Don't worry if you're confused. Confusion is fine. It's good to be confused. It's good to be confused. Just don't think you're 100% right. I'd be more worried if you think you know what the fuck is going on and that you're 100% right. Because, of course, confusion is created by all of this crap that's coming at us, because half of it is lies. And, you know, which is why I'd like to stay off the internet. But I felt like because of this case, it was important for me to jump on. And I'm confused about the music. Why are you confused about the music? I am going to put out a new song. It is going to be called Babylon. And yes, it is a war on spirit and your soul. And Babylon is a song I worked on like 2 weeks ago, so it's fresh as fuck. If your motherfuckers want something fucking fresh, it doesn't fucking get fresher than this. So, yeah, it's coming out. They say that you can't worship God and the mammon, which is money, at the same time. And I do think that is true, which is why I think it's important for me to use the NFT space in order to help others and not myself. Though, you know, it'd be nice to be like super wealthy. It'd be nice to have a yacht. It might be really nice to, I don't know, have like a really nice masseuse walking around. So, yeah. Are you religious? Mammon is lust for money. That's right. Sorry. Correction. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you. I've been doing live for a long time. And Babylon, will it be on Spotify? I don't know if Babylon's going to be on Spotify. It's something that I was just going to release exclusive for the NFT world because it's just something heavy. Because Babylon's heavy, you get me. So, you know, I'm buying into the fantasy that this alternative world is fucking alternative, and that this is not the same as this world rebranded. Like, we want that, you know. And also as a creative, I don't want to bring other creatives into this and be a creative myself who's into this and get led into just creating this marketplace, which then I miss you too. I miss all of you. Yeah. So heavy, I've changed my name to Facebook. NFT isn't the future. No, NFT is not the future. We know that. It's a bit of a stopover spot of like people working out a new thing, because I just feel like, you know, COVID had everyone shut down, locked down, like everything's just like pff, pff, pff. And it brought something up that people could just sort themselves out and figure out, you know, something new. And if it is costly, then we have to like work on all of it at the same time. You can't just like say one thing is bad and then be okay with all the rest of the bullshit that's going on. Like everything has to be redid. All right. Broke. When is the NFT going live? The mixtape's not going to go live until tomorrow, or maybe the next day. So you got to watch for it. I'll tweet and I'll let you know. But for now, the rest of the Maya stuff is on there, and you can support Courage Foundation. And here is the corporate spiel for those that don't understand some real shit. It's like, hi guys, buy my NFT, it's gonna be really great, it's part of my album, and I'm gonna give it to a cause you don't need to know about, because it's like the whole point is we can't mention them and talk about them and say their name and talk about this sort of stuff on the internet, because we're just going through that little time. It's a little bit of a glitch with free